So I hope I can be heard on this video. I'm kind of right next to the street, but I was on my way back from grabbing some dinner, and today was kind of a big day in the stock market, and I figured it might be worthwhile to chat a little bit about it real quick as I'm heading back to the house. So what happened? Today is January 27th, 2025. A company in China came out with a new generative AI algorithm, basically. They released it, they put it out there, and they said that they reduced the cost of doing generative AI by the overhead of doing it by like 90%. And that caused a panic in the markets, really. Primarily for the stocks involved in the processing power that's needed for doing generative AI. Specifically NVIDIA. I think NVIDIA took like a 25% hit on their stock. The most expensive stock in the world, $3 trillion, goes down 25%. People start to panic. But don't worry, it's actually not as bad as it sounds. It really comes down to it needed that. It needed to be readjusted, because one surefire thing that always happens with technology is it drops in cost. The price of it always comes down. It's part of Moore's Law. Moore's Law is a hard and fast rule that says every 18 months technology doubles in processing power, doubles in the power, doubles in what it can do, and halves in price. And Moore's Law has very consistently worked. It's something that it's like, maybe it's not always at 50, 100% increase or 50% increase, whatever the case may be, but it's a pretty consistent gauge of how technology is evolving. So it should be no surprise that somebody figured out a faster way to do what we're doing right now. Now, the thing is, what we call AI right now, what people are sitting here and saying, ooh, AI, this is what we're all about. It's no more artificial intelligence than magic is magic. Magic is not magic. It's a trick. And real magic is not really something that anybody's saying, oh, we got to figure out how to do real magic. However, with AI, people are running around saying AI, and then they're saying AGI. And that's generalized intelligence, basically like C-3PO from Star Wars. And that's nowhere near coming about, and it's no more near than real magic is coming about. What we have now is known as machine learning. And if you're not calling it machine learning, you're calling it the wrong thing. And, oh, by the way, I just happen to be walking right by the NVIDIA building right now, and not a single person jumped out of a window there today. It's only like 3 stories tall, but yeah, they all survived. And so basically, machine learning boils down to the confluence of 3 different areas of technology. You have the processing power, which is these processors, these chips that the companies like NVIDIA make. Intel makes them. ARM-style chips are another technology that's utilized out there. You have that. Then you have the data, these massive amounts of data that can be... Oh, I'm about to get run over, so let me cut across here. These massive amounts of data that are basically available, and then the connectivity to put all of it together. We've built out the entire connectivity infrastructure of the world over the past 20 years. That's really built. You kind of miss the boat if you're looking for that angle on the AI development. The processing power, very important. It's the whole reason that those guys right there, their stock went to $3 trillion, was because they provided a very efficient and small and fast processing. The problem with that is, right now in this world, I would say, I'm just speculating, but I'm pretty sure I'm pretty damn close, probably at least 90% of the processing power that's on this planet right now. And keep in mind, that includes your computer, this phone that you're watching things on, everything, smart TVs. They never run at 100% processing. Most of the computers are sitting there idling at, less than 5% of the use. So in large part, we're not using our processing power particularly efficiently right now. So to sit there and say that, oh, China figured out this better way. Well, I mean, we tried to keep China from developing this stuff by saying, oh, well, they can't buy these NVIDIA chips. Well, I don't care about that. Processing power is processing power. If you can't get a chip with 4,000 cores on it, like NVIDIA can provide you, they're just going to buy, 500 you know, chips that have 8 cores on them, and suddenly you have your 4,000 cores. You know, that's fine, and they don't care about, you know, these guardrails that are put in place to keep them from getting the technology. They're going to get the technology. Then they took it and they did things smarter. As I said, AI is really a 3-tier situation. It's 3 legs on a stool. You know, you have your data, you have your processing power, and you have your connectivity. But a stool is useless unless a person is there to use it. And that's the fourth aspect of it. And that's maybe if you're really looking for a place to put any kind of investments right now, that sort of thing, you probably should be looking at something like a Palantir or other companies that are figuring out the best way to utilize AI, because the processing power is there. NVIDIA is not the answer. Don't panic. It was overpriced. It came down in cost, just like the announcement was basically that the cost of AI dropped 90%. So be thankful that NVIDIA only dropped 25% if you had your money in there. And by the way, if you did have money in there and you had money in there a year ago, you're still 100% richer than you were a year ago. So don't panic. Think about those 3 to 4 aspects of AI and find your investments in there. Just a little bit of advice. Y'all have a good night.